Hi everybody, it's Laura. Thank you so much for joining me on my channel. Today I have a layout that I made with an older My Creative Scrapbook limited edition kit. This kit was from July of 2023, so 1 year ago, and the kit featured a gorgeous collection from Prima called Postcards from Paradise. I love the color scheme in this collection, and I love making summer layouts, so I really enjoyed working with this kit. So I started off with a very simple cut file. I used one of the pattern papers from the kit, that's the heart that I'm inking now, and then I used a piece of plain white cardstock, and that was the slightly larger heart that I inked earlier with some Seedless Preserves Distress Oxide. I'm going to mount the smaller heart on the larger heart, and that's going to be the background for my layout. I'm going to use another cut file on this layout, and I'm going to layer that on top of this heart. I think that it's a little bit hard to see all the beautiful details on this paper when watching the video. There's a lot of really fine crackling in the background, which gives it a little bit of a distressed look. I'm using this cut file. This is one of the My Creative Scrapbook cut files. It says Summer Sun. And right now I'm using some tape to tape down the embroidery thread that I use to stitch all around the outside of it. So I backed the cut file with one of the papers from the kit, and then I used some gold embroidery floss and I stitched all around all of the letters. When I cut out a cut file, I cut it out twice, once with all the inner cuts and once without the inner cuts. That way I can layer the cut file that I've backed with the pattern paper on top of a solid piece, and that helps me to be able to stitch. Otherwise, the stitches will often break through because the paper is a little bit too thin. I used to just back the cut file and then try to stitch on it, but very frequently the stitches would rip through the paper, so I found that that second layer really helps the entire cut file to be more sturdy. Now I have the inner cuts from the sun, and I'm covering them with gesso because I wanted to add some color to the sun. I'm also adding some gesso to the word sun. I'm going to layer that word on top of the cut file, but first I'm going to add some paint and modeling paste to it. To add some color to the word sun, I used two Art Anthology sprays. The color names are Siesta Key and Clover. And I wanted the word sun to look painted, so I am not trying to apply the color super evenly. I want to make sure that it looks like there are some brush strokes in there. And then as I was applying the sprays, I realized that I needed to dry the gesso a little bit more. It wasn't totally dry, so I went in with my heat gun and I made sure that the gesso was thoroughly dry. I started off very conservatively, trying to add the paint very slowly with the brush, and then I got a little bit more heavy-handed and began spraying the word sun with the paints, and it was a little bit too much spray, and I was afraid the paper would get too wet and break apart, so that's why I moved the word, and now I'm using my heat tool to try to dry the paint before the paper gets too soggy. There's only a small strip of paper connecting the S and the U, and I could have avoided the risk of the paper breaking by using a heavier paper, like maybe some watercolor paper. The paper that I'm using here is a smooth white cardstock that's 80 pound, which is not a very thick paper. And although it will take some sprays and paints, you have to be careful about overloading it. So if you really want to add a lot of paint to something like this, I think you have to use a thicker paper. Once all of the paint was completely dry, I used a stencil that I love from my stash. This is a Tim Holtz stencil. I believe it's called Dot Fade, and some modeling paste, and I'm covering the whole word with these tiny little dots. I love stencils, so I do tend to collect them, but I have probably 7 or 8 stencils that I use 90% of the time, and this is one of them. I just love the way the little dots look on so many different projects. And here you can see that my word did fall apart, but it's not a big deal. Paper can be reattached. Next time I know to use a thicker paper. And I wanted to add a little bit of contrast between the cut file and this word, so I inked the edges with a Distress Oxide called Lucky Clover. I add some gel glue to the back, and now I'm going to piece it together on top of the cut file. And you can see that I am slightly offsetting the word sun, so you could still see some of the white behind it. And I think this will help it to read a little bit better on the final layout. I use embossing powders on the pieces that make up the sun. I didn't include the footage of that, but I used two different embossing powders. I use a Ranger called Yellow Tinsel, and then another brand called Powder from the Keg, and the name of that color is Travertine. And I layered them together to create this soft yellow color. And once again, I'm using gel glue and attaching these down to the cut file. I wanted to use embossing powder for the sun because I thought that embossing powder would look a little bit more appropriate for the sun because it's a little bit shiny. And you can't really see it too well in the video, but it is a little bit shiny. And I was happy with the fact that the texture looks different from the rest of the layout. I just like to use different textures when I'm making a page. Now I have all of the major elements of my page prepared. I attach the heart to the center of the page. And then I'm going to attach the cut file right on top of it. And in order to do that, I use some ATG adhesive. And because there's some stitching on the cut file, there's already a little bit of dimension to this cut file, so I just attach it down directly to the page. I don't use any foam to pop it up. Now I'm using my T-square. I want to make sure that the cut file is straight. I don't want to add a lot of embellishments to the layout and then later on realize that it's crooked. So I use my T-square very often for this purpose. And now I'm adding my photos to the layout. I'm using two photos of my daughter Julia. She went to Florida a couple of years ago and she didn't take too many pictures, but she did take a couple of cute pictures while she was there. So I wanted to make sure that I scrapbooked the pictures that she did take. And in these pictures, she's getting ready to go snorkeling, and I think that these are really cute and perfect for these summer peepers. I made some mats for these two pictures by using a piece of cardstock, and then I used those same colors that I used to color the word sun. As a matter of fact, I used some of the paint that was left over, and I did that off camera because I was just doing the same thing that I did to the word sun, just painting them a bluish green. Now I have selected a number of embellishments that I plan to use on the layout. I used some picked raspberry distress oxide and I inked the edges of all of these pieces. Some of them are die cut pieces, some of them are fussy cut pieces. I find with the Prima papers there are often so many gorgeous images to fussy cut out, so I used quite a few fussy cut images. And I don't use all of those pieces that I inked up. I inked up the pieces that I thought I would probably use, but I ended up editing that a little bit and just using some of them. And in addition to the paper embellishments, I'm also using the beautiful dimensional flowers that came in the kit. I love this color combination of the kind of magenta color with the light pink and the lime green color. I think it's such a beautiful combination, perfect for summer. And while the cluster on the lower right-hand side of the layout came together really easily, I had a little bit of trouble with the flowers on the upper left-hand side. And because I felt like I didn't have quite enough space there for those flowers, I ended up moving the photo on the left-hand side down a little bit. I actually like the look of the pictures better when one's a little higher and one's a little lower, but I decided that I was going to make them at the same level just so that I could have enough room for that cluster. So it took a little while for me to feel sure that I was ready to glue those flowers down, but when I did, I used some matte gel medium, and that's a great adhesive. I love using it for these dimensional flowers. Now I'm going to add a few more embellishments to the page. I put a pink pineapple between the letters M and E, and then I put a pink parrot on the upper right-hand corner over the letter M. And I think that both of those embellishments are super cute. And I always like to add a little something to the cut file, a few embellishments to make it a little more detailed. And then to those larger clusters, I'm adding a number of beautiful pink leaves. There's a lot of pink in this collection, and I think that it's awesome. In this collection, there were lots and lots of florals, so you'll notice that those clusters continue to grow. I start off by adding a couple of pink leaves, and then I add a few green leaves that are on branches. I had mentioned earlier that I used pink Distress Oxide to ink the edges of the pink leaves, but for these green branches, I inked the edges with green Distress Oxide. And since I use my daubers frequently, I just used whatever green Distress Oxide was on my dauber. There's so much beautiful color on this layout, and I like to break that up a little bit with white elements at times. So I die cut a number of these small fern type branches, and I think that these added a nice touch to each of the clusters. I'm afraid I don't know the manufacturer of this die. I used to buy tons and tons of branch die cuts and leaf die cuts on eBay, so a lot of them are unbranded. But I find that I use my leaf and branch dies more than any other dies, so I like to have a big assortment of branches and leaves to choose from. And then I found myself fussing around with those branches on the cluster on the bottom. It took me a while to get them just the way that I wanted them, so I didn't include all the footage, but you can see that I was making a lot of little mini micro changes to their arrangement. There were a few spots on the sun that I wanted to cover up. I learned many years ago when I took a class on illustration that you can use Dr. P.H. Martin's bleed proof white to cover up mistakes. And so I used it a lot back in the day to fix my illustrations. And now I use it on my scrapbook layouts, mainly when I have smudges on cut files, but I've used it for other purposes too. I just think it's a good thing to have handy. Well, now I'm adding some pearls to the flowers, and I feel very lucky that I happen to have the right colors to go along with the 3 colors of flowers that are on the layout. So after I matched up the colors, I spread just a couple of pearls around each of the flowers, and I love the way the pearls look on flowers. I love adding things to my page that are made of different materials and textures. I just think that it gives the overall look of the layout a little bit more interest. And to attach all the pearls down, I'm using glossy accents. I used to try to use gel glue, but I found that the pearls and sequins or whatever I was trying to attach down with the gel glue would come flying off the page when I moved my layouts. So I love gel glue. I use it all the time for paper to paper, but for things like pearls and sequins and even enamel dots, when I need to glue those down, I use glossy accents. And then I love to add some highlights to my flowers. So I use a dry brush, I dip it in heavy gesso, and then I lightly brush it on just the edges of the petals. And I really like the way that gives the flowers even more dimension and just makes them look a little bit more realistic, and it emphasizes them a little bit more. And I try very hard not to be too heavy-handed with the gesso. Once I added white gesso to red flowers and I went a little overboard and I really didn't like the look. So I do add several layers. I will go back a couple of times, but each time I'm just dabbing a little bit of the gesso on the flowers. Now I'm adding some white splatters to the background, and this is something I do on most of my layouts. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you may notice that I go through a lot of the same steps on my layouts. The composition will change, the materials will change, but the techniques that I use are often the same. I like to try different things and vary what I do on different layouts, but I still use a lot of the same procedures. Even when I'm trying something new, I like to have some techniques that I know are going to work and I know what the outcome is going to be. So that is the very last touch that I added to the layout. This layout is complete, and here are a few close-ups. Thank you so much for watching. I'm really having fun working on some of these older videos and revisiting some of these older collections. If you are interested in subscribing to the My Creative Scrapbook kits, you can check out the link that's in the description box. This is the limited edition kit, which is my favorite, but there are other kits. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.